All right, are you ready to chat about this year's full moon in Gemini? It is going to be a decision moment, a crossroads, a little confusion, and a little bit of headbutting. So if you want to hear more, you know the drill. Grab your notebook, grab your pen, and let's chat. Okay, I want you to think back to June 17th, 18th of this year. That's when we had the new moon in Gemini, and that's when you planted new seeds of intentions and goals, and this is the point where they start to either blossom or complete. So stories are ending, and it's really letting you begin a new story, and this one takes you into 2024. So we just had the Mars Cazimi, so I'm sure you watched that video, and if not, I encourage you to check it out so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's a new 2-year cycle we're starting. And so when this happens, it's just a whole, I don't want to get totally into it and take up this video with it, but we're basically starting more storylines for that now at this point. So we need to wrap up more to make space for new, right? Because new things are about to occur. So this full moon is at 4 degrees Gemini. And what's funny is, it's not really funny, but it's a Cancer degree, which is ruled by the moon. So we have this full moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, which we are in the shadow period at this point, because we have Mercury going retrograde on the 13th of December. And that's how we're going to start the new year, because it goes direct on the 1st. But I digress. I'm getting ahead of myself. This full moon in Gemini is really giving us the last hurrah, basically, for the year. And I say that because we're getting into our emotions. There's deep emotional healing that can occur, but also, how do you heal if you don't know what's broken? That means things that are broken are coming to the surface. So emotional, lots of confusion, lots of deciding what's really for you and what's not for you, and really truly making space so the right things can come in. It's pretty powerful. So we also have Mercury squaring Saturn, and Mercury is squaring Neptune. It's tough. It's kind of like it's really intense, hard aspects, right? But they're all in mutable signs. And then we're also getting all the things digging up. And Saturn is the one who tells you, you need to do this. You need to clock in. It's, the time master. It's old wise man Saturn. And then you have Neptune, who likes to confuse everything and go, well, what about this dream? What about this idea? What if, right? And so now you have all these, like, well, I could dream this up, but did that really work out? I want this, but did I put any energy into it? Like Saturn's going, you didn't put any energy into it. So how are you going to manifest it, right? So it's your follow through. And you can go, is this something I really want, Saturn and Neptune going, or is this just a dream? It's just a fancy idea I came up with. Like how can I make this dream a reality, right? Like, you need Saturn. Do you like how these are my puppets? Anyways, so it's just so much Sagittarius energy, because we have Sagittarius sun right now, and then we have it in all these different aspects currently in the planetary placements. So we're going long term. How far can I shoot this arrow, right? Because they're the archer. So what can you do long term? What can you do the next 6 months, 1 year, even better, 2 years, right? That Cazimi 2-year Mars cycle, we're starting a new 2-year cycle. So what can you put your sights on and shoot the arrow at? What can Saturn put things, practicality? How can you make steps into making it a reality? What's the dream, and what are the steps to take to get there? Thank you, Saturn. Thank you, Neptune. Thank you, puppets. Anyways, so I think that's a really important thing, because when you're making these new dreams and goals, think long term. Because what didn't work out when we had the new moon in Gemini on June 17th, 18th? What were you aiming for? What seeds did you plant? Were you overdoing it? Were you not putting the energy behind it? So what can you do to put the energy behind it now? Do you see what I'm saying? So use it to your advantage. How can you do the everyday mundane things to make the dream your reality? Okay? So I want you to really think about what you would like to put your energy into. So I want you to talk about, to yourself and others, more so about Gemini type topics. Sorry, I had to cough. Anyways, so Gemini is all mental, like it's all mental, right? Like they have the creative juices, they create things. It's the yin and the yang, it's the twins. There's always one idea, the thoughts, and then the creativity. So how can you make, same thing with Saturn and Neptune, right? Like how can you make the dream a reality? So you get your creative hat on during this full moon and you say, is there a language I want to learn? Is there somewhere I want to travel to? Is there something that has always piqued my interest that I would like to dive into deeper? Is there somewhere I want to go explore? There's a new website I want to create, because they also are about online. They are very connected to the internet and things like that. So is there some kind of connection or creation you can do through the online world, social media, websites, things like that? How can you reach out to more people? What wasn't working? What's a new way of doing things? It's small business, connecting with other businesses. So you kind of see where I'm going. It's networking. That's Gemini. They are natural born communicators. They can connect any dots. So this is your turn to have a culmination of going, what didn't I successfully do in the last 6 months? What could I do better? And how could I do it? And how can I grow this in the next 6 months, 1 year, even better, 2 years? And you can look long term, but like 5-10 years. But I want you to be really realistic, because that's Saturn saying be realistic. Cross your T's and dot your I's, especially with Mercury retrograde shadow. Because as we move into December, you might see a couple more hiccups that come along with it. But that's okay. I won't get so into that right now. This is all about the Gemini full moon, culmination, refresh, right? The reset button that we need. So it's time to review the last 6 months. What was successful? What could you have done differently? And what would you like to let go? That is the biggest thing. Are there relationships that just aren't meaningful anymore? What have you outgrown? Is there something in school that you've been learning and you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to use this in life? Maybe it's time to change the subject and try a different course, right? It's never too late, but you need to be honest with yourself. And this is the perfect time to do just that, because no one's rushing you but you. So, to wrap this up and keep it short and easy, just think about things that you would like to aim for and let it fly, because anything is possible. And think about 2024 goals, because there's a lot of shifts, and I'll get into that later. But what would you like right now? What can you aim for? And what can you make space for? Because things need to change somewhere in your life. So look at where Gemini, that house is in your chart and where it falls, and see how you can really take advantage of the next 2 weeks to 30 days, which in the long run will last you quite some time. So with that being said, I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now.